This is about some labels that I found amongst Ed Sanders stuff. Um, Ed Sanders likes poster labels, and he actually likes the physical posters. These are actually some war bond and war recruiting posters that I showed pictures of to Ed Sanders, and he said he would take the one in the bottom right corner. He said he would take that one home, the one that says Americans All. So these are the full size posters. The next one is just a selection of odd, patriotic, and military themed Cinderellas. As you know, Cinderellas are stamp-like items, and they're sometimes called poster stamps. And because of their unofficial nature, it can be difficult to find additional information about them because sometimes they're not well cataloged. I mean, some of them are. I mean, like some of the Christmas seals and the TB seals are cataloged, but others are not. Onward to the next slide, which is the actual labels in question, which is a partial set. And they're the National Philatelic War Fund labels, and they were a set of British fundraising Cinderellas from the First World War from 1916. And they were labels issued for fundraising for the British Red Cross and the Order of St. John of Jerusalem, which did field ambulance work. Now, this is the actual complete set of all the colors. And the complete set had 12 labels. The printer was Perkins Bacon and Company, and they printed them free of charge for this fundraiser. They also were the printer of the penny black. You can see that they were a Red Cross fundraiser because in the bottom corners, they have the Red Cross symbol, and in the top corners, they have what is supposed to be a Maltese cross symbol. It's not a very good Maltese cross symbol because usually the Order of St. John of Jerusalem has a more defined Maltese cross, but anyway, that's what they used for this particular label. And the inspiration for the vignette in the center of this label was this recruiting poster, and the theme was Take Up the Sword of Justice. And this recruiting poster was designed by Bernard Parkridge, but the actual labels were designed by J. Dunbar. And then this is a little pennant that has the same theme. Along with this set of labels, there was a fundraising auction. On the auction catalog, they used the same theme as the 1914 Philatelic Congress labels with the three monarchs, Victoria, Edward, and George. And they heavily embossed the cover to make it look like a die proof. Now, I don't know whether you would call it a true die proof, but whenever they show these catalog covers or show the cut pieces of these catalog covers, they call it a die proof. So there were two of these auctions held. There was one in 1916 and one in 1917. And then here's an additional cut piece showing this die proof. Now, I searched around on the internet because I thought I would for sure find the interior of this auction catalog to find out what people had donated and, you know, what the prices realized were, but I wasn't able to find the interior of the catalog. But I was able to find one item that was donated to this auction, and it was actually a significant item. It turns out that King George himself actually donated a lot in aid of this fundraising effort. And apparently, this was the only item ever deaccessioned from his collection during his lifetime. And it may be the only item ever deaccessioned from his collection. That I'm not sure. But it's the only thing ever sold out of his collection during his lifetime for sure. And it was this 1866 9-pence straw plate, plate number 5, abnormal. And I don't know exactly what is abnormal about this 9-pence stamp because I am not a GB collector. But here it is, the actual item with the note from King George stating that he's donating it. And then here's the caption from the Museum of Philatelic explaining this. And it says that it's the only stamp he ever sold in his lifetime. And the purchaser from the auction was Stanley Gibbons. And then it was later sold on, to various subsequent purchasers. There also exist color trials of these Cinderellas, both the label format type and the catalog cover type that have the Philatelic Congress type vignette. And they were exhibited in one of the London Stampex shows, but I don't know what year. And these labels also exist in a mini sheet format. And there exists an odd mirror image type of this catalog cover with the die proof, which is somewhat odd. But one thing I couldn't find anywhere were any of these labels on cover with any valid postage, which is odd because this seems to have been a significant fundraising effort, but nobody ever seems to have put any of these labels on a letter, which is strange. Okay, so there's just that little thing about these labels that I got from Ed Sanders.